Hey guys, it's S. Anthony. This is the S. Anthony Says podcast, episode number 270. Not doing my standard intro today because this is not going to be a standard episode. This is going to be a little bit different in tone and substance. Bear with me for this one particular episode. The reason I'm saying this is because I gave serious consideration to not doing this anymore. Serious consideration. I came really close to just going, okay, that's enough. And, yeah. And I'll tell you why. And I have to tell you some dopey stories to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. I'm the kind of person that, believes in my ability to fix things. You know, I really believe in my ability to fix things and make situations a little bit better. And usually I can. And that's a good thing in some cases, and sometimes it's a bad thing. I'll explain. I had friends that started right around the same time that I did doing stand-up, and some people that started after me. And they've gone on to big success, and I'm really, really happy for them, legitimately. But when I run into them, they almost kind of look at me like, you're so good. I don't understand why you're not where I am. They try to say that. And I didn't think much of it. I was like, oh, what is what it is. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. I'll get mine eventually, no big deal. And then I'm driving down the street and I hear two people that I know that are successful in the business reminiscing and talking about things. And I'm going, hey, two people I know that became famous. Oh, that's pretty cool. Well, all right, let me listen to this show. And then all of a sudden they start talking about me. It's like, I haven't seen these people in a long time. And they go, yeah, you remember that guy? You know him, he was a great guy, man. This guy was the best, man. He was the best, man. He was one of the best I ever seen, man. Remember Steve Thomas? Yeah, man. Oh, he was the best. Oh, man, he was the greatest, man. He was the best. And they're rattling off all these compliments about me. By the way, that's what the S stands for, Steve, but I don't go by that anymore, obviously. Oh, he was the best, man. He was the greatest, the talented, this. And I'm sitting there going, oh, Jesus Christ. Two people who are successful like that are reminiscing about me on the radio like I died last year. Just because they hadn't seen me in a while. And I was thinking about that. And I'm going, yeah, one of them started before me or right around the same time, or maybe a couple of years before, and one of them started after me. And they're talking about me. I'm the best at this, today's the greatest at this, and all this kind of stuff. And it's cool to hear compliments. But after a while, I was like, wait a second. They know this, I'm alive, damn it. I'm healthy. What the hell are they talking? And it was really weird. It was like hearing my own eulogy and hearing people compliment me. And it made me think, it was like, hey man, what the hell's going on? And I realized, I'm kind of paying attention. I was kind of paying attention to the wrong things. It was mistakes that I had made. And I'm sure you've made very, very similar mistakes also. I'm going to start picking up the microphone again in September and rebuild, the stand-up career. Go back to doing what I'm natural at, what I'm the best at. Or what I do best, not the best at, but what I do best, I should say. And it made me think, I said, should I divert all of my attention to that and not do this anymore? And I gave it like really, really serious thought, because I've been doing this in October. It'll be 4 years. And even though I enjoy it, it hasn't become what I thought it was going to become or what I would like it to have become. Now, people will compare this show to other people and go, well, you're doing well. What's going on? Yeah, I know, but still, sometimes good enough isn't good enough. You've been in relationships before where it's okay, but there's nothing special going on. You see, you're not really that happy. You're not sad, but you're not happy. And you want to be happy. You see people who are really, really happy, and you want to be happy like you perceive them to be. And you're looking at where you are and you're not sad, but you're not happy. I realized that the reason I'm not doing stand-up anymore is because I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. There was an experiment. I forgot exactly how it went, but I think they had a pigeon and they taught a pigeon to hit a button, and they were testing out reactions. And the first test, the pigeon hit the button, and every time the pigeon hit the button, the pigeon would get no treat, and the pigeon just stopped hitting the button. Pigeon 2, they put the pigeon in the box. The pigeon hit a button, and every time the pigeon hit that button, a delicious pigeon treat would come down, and the pigeon would eat the treat, and they knew every time it hit the button, oh, a treat's coming. But eventually, because the pigeon knew that there was going to be a treat coming down every time it hit the button, it kind of got bored and only hit the button every once in a while because it knew it was going to happen. Pigeon 3, they put the pigeon in the box. The pigeon hit the button, and every once in a while, a treat would come out. So the pigeon didn't know when a treat was going to come out. So it just kept banging that button, hoping that a treat was going to come out. And I think that I'm kind of like that in a way. In stand-up, every time I got on stage, I knew exactly what was going to happen. I got the laughs, I got to this, I got to this, I got to that, and it was great. But what didn't happen was I didn't get on the television programs. I didn't get on the radio programs as much as I'd like to. I didn't get these things. So it's kind of like, it's like I was hitting the button, the stand-up button, but nothing was coming down. It was like the pigeon, just tick, 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 tick. I kept hitting the stand-up button. And every time I hit the stand-up button, I thought nothing would come down. So I just kind of gave up on it. All right, I'm getting standing ovations, blah, blah, blah. People are chanting, blah, blah, blah. Where's my television? Where's my radio? Did I get on national television? A little bit. Did I get on radio? A little bit, but not as much as I thought. And even though I didn't make a decision to just, fuck stand-up, I'm never doing it again, it very slowly became less and less important to me, right? And I started looking at the material that I was doing, and I realized I'm doing stuff that I think people will like, not doing stuff that I want to do that I think is hilarious. I went back and I pulled out some of the old videotapes and I looked at them, and I watched the tapes. They were laughing and clapping. They wanted me to sign stuff and to take pictures with me. I get it. That's wonderful. It really is. And I'm honored by that. But I looked at myself on stage, and it was kind of like I was going through the motions. And then I would run across a tape where I was doing the stuff I wanted to do the way I wanted to do it. And I saw joy in my face, and the shows were even better. And I'm going, why didn't I keep doing that? Just because the other stuff was kind of working, You got the laughs. That's the job. Get the laughs, get the check. And then I think about this thing that I'm doing right here, the Yes Anthony Says podcast, and it's doing okay. It's doing good. It's fine. It's good. But when I look back and listen to the shows, even though I'm proud of them, and I would not put out a show that I wasn't proud of, I realize it's really not what I really, really want to do. And I sat back and I'm saying, if it's not really what I want to do, should I even do a podcast anymore? Do people like it? Yes. But it's not where I want it to be. Now, that's the mistake a lot of people make. You get so fixated on outside stuff. How come this number of people are listening, but how come this number of people aren't listening? I'm doing all these stand-up shows, and people are standing up and applauding and going, great, and you're the greatest and the greatest. And two people who have achieved some success are talking about me and reminiscing as if I died. You're the greatest. He's the greatest. I can't believe how good he was. This, that. Where is he? All of that crap. But I had to sit back and think and go, wait a minute, what the hell is going on here? What the hell is going on here? And I know that there's a whole bunch of you out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about, where you're doing something and you're good at it, but you could be better if you did it the way you're supposed to do it. If you did what you're supposed to be doing the way you're supposed to be doing it. Maybe you got a job that you're doing and you should be starting your own business and you know it. And this job sucks and it really doesn't pay. It pays just enough to get by, and you realize it's always going to pay just enough to get by. It's never going to be anything better than that. And you got to ask yourself a question. If I'm going to do something that's just enough to get by, would I rather be doing something that I love to do and just get by, or something that sucks and just get by? Well, in my case, I realize if I'm not going to be a big famous person, why am I writing stand-up that I think people who make those decisions like when it hasn't worked for me? That's kind of dumb. If I'm going to do stand-up, why would I be on stage doing stuff that works, but I don't necessarily like it works, but I'm not in love with it works, but it's not really my comedic voice? Why would I do that? If I'm going to do stand up again, I'm going to do what I want to do, the way I want to do it. And if I fail, fine. But I'm not going to fail using somebody else's rule book. Oh, no, 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 no. If I'm going to do this podcast, I'm not going to do what I think people are going to like. I'm not going to, I'm not going to do what I think people will laugh at this. No, no, no. I'm going to do from this point on, starting with episode number 271, which will be the next one. I'm going to start doing the stuff I want to do, the way I want to do it. Because even if this podcast stagnates and doesn't continue and it never becomes a big deal, I will still love every second of it. But I'm not saying I'm not proud of the episodes I've done before. I am. You would not even hear them if I wasn't proud of them. You wouldn't even hear them because this is episode number 270 right now. And I'm telling you right now, 5 or 6 times I've done complete episodes, edited them, getting ready to upload them, listened to them one last time and said, no, I can do better than that. Fuck that. And erased it. Didn't go back in to tweak it. Didn't cut out pieces. No, I said I can do better than that. And I don't even want to be associated with that level because that's not good enough. There's people that listen to me and I'm not putting out something I'm not proud of. So those episodes, gone, done, forgotten about, erased. They don't exist at all. Now this podcast is closer, even in this current state, closer to what I really want to do, but there still was a part of me that was trying to people please a little bit too much. And it's okay to be a people pleaser to some extent. If you're a people pleaser a little bit, that's cool. You know, it's a little bit. It's like this, like certain seeds of certain fruit have poison in them, like arsenic or something like that. And if you swallow one peach pit, or if you swallow a couple of seeds from an apple, there's arsenic in there. I think it's arsenic. It's not enough to kill you. It's not a big deal. You biting that apple, I think I swallowed the seed. So what? Right? Because if you really think about it, when you people please, a lot of times you're kind of taking something from yourself, taking a little bit of time from what you need to do, taking a little bit of your money and giving it to somebody else, taking your time and giving it to someone else, stopping from doing something to help somebody else out. So you are kind of doing a little bit to yourself that you shouldn't do, because you should never deny yourself stuff, but you want to please people. You want to help somebody out. It's okay in little bits. You know, give that person $1 that needs it. Give that person a ride. That person needs counsel or an ear. Fine. But you can't do it too much. Right? If you got $400 left in your bank account and your rent's $350 and your friend wants to borrow $350 for a television, you want your friend to have a television, but you can't give that guy the money. You got to pay rent. I know what it's like to be broke enough. When I saw a homeless guy walking on the street, he was asking for $1. And I had like $4 left and I needed that to get to work and to get back. And I had nothing in my bank account. And I was praying to God that I was going to get a check, because if I didn't get that check, my punk ass would have been thrown out of my apartment. Because at that time I was broke as hell. And did I want to give that guy money? Sure. But I couldn't. I had to take care of me first. It's like when you're in an airplane and those oxygen masks drop down. What do they tell you? Put the mask on yourself first, then help the other person. Because if you're passed out, you're not going to be much help. So, I know now that I've swallowed too many apple seeds and got a little sick, metaphorically speaking. I pay too much attention to certain relationships that I shouldn't have paid attention to or should have gotten out of because they weren't healthy or they were just dragging me down. And that's another reason why my stand-up kind of slipped to the wayside. In the beginning, when I started doing this, I paid a little bit too much to stats. Not anybody else's stats, but to my stats. How come this many people listen? How come this one's less? How come this one's more? It really doesn't matter. Really. I mean, no one else knows how many people listen to this but me. So who cares? I could tell you anything you want. Okay, 18 billion people listen to this. Right? But just like with the weight loss, and I made a decision that I'm going to get myself back in shape and get back to where I need to be health-wise, and I've already begun that process. Obviously, if you follow me on social media, you know that. I realized career-wise I got to do that too. So I gave serious thought to not doing this anymore. But upon reflection, I realized, nah, I like doing it. And from this point on, I'm going to love doing it, because from this point on, I'm going to do exactly what I want to do the way I want to do it, and not give a fuck what anybody thinks. The people that like me and like what I'm doing will stay. The people that don't will go. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. As far as stand-up is concerned, I am not going to do the same type of crap I was doing before. From this point on, you're going to see, for those of you that come to see me, you're going to see S. Anthony material. You're not going to see Steve Thomas material. It's going to be S. Anthony material. It's going to be a completely different thing. And I truly believe it's going to be infinitely better. So I know that you can relate to that in some ways. I know some of you are putting out for other people to the detriment of what you need to do. You know, you're working at a job that sucks. Maybe you're in a relationship that's just not going well, and you'd rather be with that person and occasionally get it on than be by yourself. I've been there too, and I've also made decisions about that. I'm not going to be in relationships that aren't happy. Not doing it. They say life's short. No, life's not short. Life's short if you compare yourself to a redwood. Okay. But it seems long when you're in a relationship that absolutely sucks. See if you can fix it. If you can't fix it, get out. Because I'm one of those people, I would much rather be by myself than with someone who doesn't remember my birthday, or someone who doesn't, who can't be affectionate, someone who doesn't act like you're special to them, someone who doesn't claim you, someone who doesn't want to be around you as much as they want to be around other people, someone that doesn't treat you right. These are things that I've learned. And I'm sure a lot of you have learned those things too. So, from this point on, I'll be honest with you, 48-year-old man, I'm going to get healthy. I'm going to be back to being one of the best comics on the planet. And I'm going to work hard to be one of the best podcasters on the planet. But I'm going to do it my way, doing the shit I like to do the way I like to do it. And I hope that many of you who are listening to this will make a similar decision for yourself. Sometimes you got to put the mask on. No, you got to put the mask on first and suck in some air before you help other people. Because a lot of times you put the mask on other people, they won't even let you put the fucking mask on, and you both suffocate. And we don't want that now, do we? These are things that I've learned. And more importantly than that, these are things that I will now perpetually put into practice. Dig?